Hi you guys, this is Sonia with Suburban Gardening. It's January, but the sun is out. It's a beautiful day in Southern California. Come for a walk with me around the garden so I can show you some of the projects we're going to be doing to get ready for spring, and some of the projects we need to do right now so the garden stays beautiful in the wintertime. Welcome! Come on in. This area is the courtyard, and it's also the place where we welcome our family and friends. This is the first garden that anyone sees, and I like to have pots full of flowers on my steps. As you can see, they need a little bit of a refresh, but that's actually going to be a lot of fun. I put these hanging baskets in front of the window because they bring height to this area, and it's so beautiful when we're on the inside and we're looking out into baskets over brimming with flowers. On this side of the courtyard, we have a lovely seating area and this wonderful bird bath. As you can see, the wild strawberries have taken over. I need to get those out and replace those with something different that's more beautiful. This wonderful iron bench was given to me by a dear friend who's now passed away, so we really love having it out here. I think getting these walls cleaned up and putting in some color will change this area completely. As we head back towards the backyard, you can see my bird bath here full of leaves, but also the arch. And notice how the arch is leaning to the right? We've got to fix that. I have two wonderful pots right here and right back here. This one in the front, right now it's full of nasturtiums. I planted those because I had a whole bunch of seeds left over from some plants from last year. They're doing great. They're absolutely going to start blooming and be beautiful. But down in here we have a mandevilla. This mandevilla will grow all the way up over this arch and meet the clematis, which is right down here in this pot. Everything looks a little sleepy, but I'm going to put a picture of what it looks like in the summertime so you can see how gorgeous this is going to be in about April. This is another agapantha, and here we have the beautiful view of our San Gabriel Mountains in the back. This view is a blessing and we absolutely love it. It extends our tiny little yard. Here we have these wonderful roses. Now this is probably about 9 feet tall. These roses are absolutely placed in the wrong place. They don't get nearly enough sun. That's why they're so tall. They're reaching for the sun. So another project, we're going to be moving those. As we move more towards the back, you can see I have another patio over here. This big pot has lavender, nasturtiums, a plumeria tree. I like to just stuff that full of different kinds of flowers. We have more agapanthus and more nasturtiums because that's what grows here in January. And over here we have some ivy geraniums, which look good all year long. Absolutely love those. Here we have our strawberry patch. And I wanted to take you in close so you could see. There are little flowers on these strawberries, and look at that. They're trying to make strawberries. Very cute. I'm sure the strawberries will come out. They'll be small, but they'll be delicious. This is a lemon tree that I started from seed, and if it doesn't make lemons this year, it's out because this is the third year. And back here we have a sage plant. And along the little seating area back here, I have more strawberries and plants that I didn't have a place for, so they just got put in a pot and stuck back there. This area that we just walked through is the area where we do most of our living in the springtime, summer, and in the fall. My husband and I sit out here and have coffee. We have the kids over, we barbecue, we have garden parties, and we nap over here on the lawn chairs on Sundays. But it has to be filled with flowers and filled with interest because we live out here a lot. I wanted to take a quick pause and show you these beautiful flowers. Now this is a piñata climbing rose. It's new in my garden. I've only had it about a year. I've trimmed it back a little bit because it grew so crazy, but I wanted you to get a load of these flowers. They're so beautiful. This wall right here is just an eyesore in my garden, and I'm hoping that we can figure out how to get this rose just to climb up all over it and take away some of that dull house look. This is where my husband and I really do a lot of hanging out. We sit here all morning and have our tea. We read books out here. We really enjoy this area. Again, it will be full of flowers and absolutely beautiful. It's also the home of my hydrangeas, which is I'm going to show you them in a few minutes. This right here is a mandevilla. It grows all the way up and around. It's absolutely stunning. It has great pink flowers. And it's also the parent to a couple of mandevillas I'm going to show you in just a minute. This is the rose garden. I inherited 15 roses when we moved into this property. And not all of them are well, but a lot of them are doing much better. This down here is just bananas and coffee. I'm going to do a bananas and coffee compost video because it's absolutely wonderful for your roses. As you can see, I use a lot of hanging plants. We have all of this patio area, and to bring in color and interest, I need to get the soil and the plants in here somehow. I also put in my rose garden, I put irises and begonias and different types of flowers. It just helps with the interest. And of course we have to have another bird feeder over here. This is one of our favorite flowers. It's a beautiful rose. I wish I could tell you the name of it. I know it's a tea rose, but like I said, I inherited it and I'm not sure. But one thing that I wanted to show you that's very important, and I'm going to talk about this a lot, is the new videos come out, but this is our kitchen window, and we also have a seating area there. So when we look out the window, I want to be able to see beautiful flowers, not just the mountains and that fence and the landscape, but beautiful flowers. So doing your landscape for looking out your windows is a big deal. These are 2 mandevillas. Now I took cuttings from that first one that I showed you, and these are the plants that I ended up with. They're growing spectacularly. Mandevillas are very easy to propagate. Lovely begonia that's just doing so great in the garden. It's a little hard to see, kind of shady. There it is. This poor little rack is filled with iris bulbs, gladiolas, and agapanthus. I dug those out of some pots that we had, and they're looking for a new home, and I'm sure I'm going to find a great one for them. More agapanthus. I have them everywhere. We do have some color. We've got these impatiens, and they're looking pretty good. And here's a calla lily. I propagate calla lilies. I'm going to show you one that's actually blooming. It looks beautiful. And here we have more pots, and this is another patio where we do a lot of sitting in the mornings, and we bring our coffee out. So I have rabbit's foot ferns. They do really well under the cover, but as you can see, I have a lot of windows here, and this is the area where we do the living inside. So I want to be able to look out onto this area and see flowers and interesting plants. This area down here we call the pond area. A little bit silly because there's no pond in here anymore, but there used to be. I took the pond out because I just wanted to try something new. My husband loves flowers, and he loves color. So we are going to turn this into just a really colorful flower garden. This little stick looking thing right here is a pomegranate tree. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to. It's asleep, and it'll come back beautiful. I'll pop up a picture of the pomegranate flowers. They're absolutely stunning, absolutely stunning. I've got 3 foxtail ferns that are just waiting to get put into the ground, and as I mentioned earlier, here are my hydrangeas, just looking so sad. Let me get a close. They're usually absolutely beautiful. I'll pop a picture up of those too. Right now they want me to tuck them in and put them to bed for the winter time, and I'm going to be doing that in actually just a few minutes. I'll put a video up for you guys to see how I do that. This is the west side of our property, and over here we have grapes. As you can see, they're in pots and they really need to be in the ground, so there's another project. I've got some irises that I dug out of my mom's yard, and they're so beautiful. They're old-fashioned irises, kind of hard to come by. This is my raised bed. Right now we have parsley, carrots, and beets. Everything is just a little cold, but it's doing really well. And as I promised, over here I have calla lilies that I've just been propagating. And this one right here, I'm not sure if you can see in this bright sunshine, is making me two beautiful flowers. This area used to have a very large jacaranda tree. Only about a week ago we had it taken out. As you can see, the sawdust is still on the ground. This area went from being full shade to now being full sun, so it's going to have to get completely redone. I've got some agapanthus over here. They're doing okay. I saved some wood from the project so we could do a little bit of a hugelkultur, so that'll be coming up. But yeah, completely different space. Now I want to show you over here. These are the amaryllis, and I keep amaryllis in my garden all year long. I propagate them, and these, I'll put the picture up what they look like in about May, April, May, June. Stunning plants, but as you can see right now, they are very, very asleep. Here on the west side of our property, we have this beautiful planter filled with agapanthus. There's also a rose right up in here, and this pot right here has my absolute favorite orange iris. I've got to dig all of that out and rescue that iris. I really enjoyed taking you guys around the garden today. I hope you'll come back many times. As you can see, we have a lot of winter projects coming up, but it's great to do them right now while it's cool and we don't get so warm doing all those projects. Let me know about any projects you might be having in your garden. I'd love to hear about them. Well, thanks for stopping by, you guys. I'll see you next time.